Make sure. So different, eh? I like it. How you, like especially I feel it crossing over. How your blade sticks to the ice longer. You know what I mean? Yeah, like a full blade push for a longer period of time. You're not flipping off your toe. You know, with regular blades, you see lots of guys, they cross over and this foot just pops out. It's a lot easier to get that full follow through on that outside edge. Yeah, I mean, I basically have only crossed over so far, but it's just unreal how it sticks to the ice. Such an easier outside edge, especially outside edge. You cross. Yeah, it sticks like a, it's even hard to explain. Especially on the inside edge, though, you feel how it carves easier, I guess, is one way to put it. You don't have to put the weight into the heel. I know those other guys said the same thing, but it kind of does it for you, right? It just distributes the weight for you. And it takes a second to get used to it, because like I'm used to pushing my weight into a certain spot, but the blade's doing it for me, so I don't even have to. Yeah, see how I'm used to doing it? It's making my foot just like lengthen that stride immediately, right? Because I'm used to forcing it, but it just does it automatically. Keeps that blade on the ice through. It's good. Honestly, that outside edge especially, because when you're teaching guys, I mean, it's pretty normal to be okay on inside edges because you're on them all the time. But so many guys struggle, especially with crossovers. It's such a big thing right now, lateral movement. That inside foot, outside edge, pushing through that whole movement, keeping the blade without popping up. Helps immediately, you can feel it. And turns, like, again, all these things, just anything that you would normally have to put pressure in the heel for, turns the same thing. It just, you don't even really have to think about it, right? Spend all these times teaching guys how to do that, and this kind of does it for them. It's really neat. Yeah, it's funny because you try and like rock back and forth. It's not like a rocking chair or anything, but when you do things, you feel it. Like obviously as a skating coach, you tell people to finish with the toe, but some guys turn it a little bit too exaggerated to the point where it's like you're toe picking, and then it pops your feet up and you're just throwing yourself off. But I think because of this, keeping your blade on longer, turns your foot out, and when you snap, it's more of a flexion to the outside with the ball of your foot, more the way it should be. So many guys take toe flexion and turn it into popping their toes into the ice, right? And this lengthens that push through your heel, like you said, and because of that spot where your foot is, you just finish with the toe at the end. It stays nice and low and controlled, right? Like I can already feel, again, I'm used to the other skates, so when I do this, I'm not used to using my full foot as much, right? So you get more length than you even expect, which right now throws me off a bit. But it's like, because it sticks. I'm used to my heel coming up already, right? Which is good, because then you get used to that longer push. You use it, and an inch is a big difference. It's just such a clean push. It's hard to even explain, but like as you watch, it's just, my foot just finishes and right back into the next stride. No pop, no nothing. Like, yeah, like you said, just full blade. Small snap at the finish. Yeah. I mean, right away, it's just a deeper, more solid. Like, I don't have to push nearly as hard. Like, that heel push is almost, it's not even really a heel push because your skate's doing it. It just digs in. You just push. Push. I mean, another thing guys struggle with a lot is changing direction quickly and coming out with speed. Yeah. Same thing, this would help. Absolutely. Because it's carrying that weight and you're able to carry your speed throughout. It's tiny details that are hard to teach lots of the time, right? But oh, it's cool.
Let's go back further.
Yeah. It's so different. It's so funny. Back to me working again. No, actually, you know what's funny is because when I first got on the ice, I didn't think about the forward skating movement as much. But as soon as with the other blades, but as soon as I got back, right away, 100%. You know, I was talking about that like toe motion, flicking the toe, and how it like catches, just like I can feel it right away. Yeah. So it definitely carries that push for longer with that heel, right? And then when you finish your toe, you have less of that pop, more control. It's really funny actually to try it because it's so different. And this is, I mean, I've been doing this since I was 2 years old and now it feels weird. Yeah. It's just so much more work. Like, it's so much more small details, right? Where you're focusing on where you're putting the pressure. You're trying to make it as long as possible. You can feel it when it catches or when it doesn't. The other one was just like, let's go. This one, you just gotta force it out. The other one, the Marsblade, just carries it, right? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's definitely a big difference. There's no doubt about that. It's all these things that you're trying to make better by drills and just repetition and all these things. Right away. That's so funny. Yeah, they just want to lengthen my pushes. It's great. Pretty much everything that I was talking about, it's just so concrete, right? It's strong pushes, long pushes, full blade. Feels really controlled. You don't have to do much work at all. Yeah. Yeah. Like, it just carries your foot right out. Same with the stride. Carries it right out. Full push. Light snap of your toe, and that actually feels good too. Probably the biggest thing I feel that would benefit a backwards skater is it keeps you in a very neutral position. Right? Because lots of guys, when they go backwards, you spin around. Now your upper body has a tendency to lean forwards as you're pushing. But because this glide leg has that hinge, it pulls you a little bit more back, and it's easier to keep yourself under control with your chest up. You know what I mean? And the thing is too, like, and I'm sure the same with a lot of people, trying these with skates that I don't normally wear, but you still notice the better difference in those certain things, right? Which normally it would be more biased towards everything feeling worse because I'm in skates that I'm not normally wearing, right? So it's obvious the benefits at the same time, right? Normally I get on skates like this and just be like, I want my other skates back. Yeah, feels so smooth, really smooth. My summary, I like them. I mean, honestly, as a skating coach and something that I work on with guys, I'd say they help do a lot of the things that we're trying to teach. Make that easier, right? I mean, you can still teach it, so you're not completely taking my job away. But it definitely makes it easier. I think certain concepts definitely, extensions, full blade push, snapping the toe with efficiency, all that stuff, just easier. Lengthens everything. Smooth. As soon as you get comfortable, my first couple crossovers, I found that my outside edge carried almost to the point where I was uncomfortable because I'm not used to that. I usually have to force it, so I tried to force it, and I almost flipped right out because it just went. And as soon as you get used to that, it's just effortless. You push, you get that full extension, snap with your toe, more power, longer push, all these things, right? It's good.